Hello, I'm Laura the Library, and welcome to this episode. Today, you see that I have some friends with me. If you're not familiar, these are characters from the Peanuts game from Charles Schulz. I will introduce you. This is Lucy. She's quite bossy. This is the star, Charlie Brown. You're a good man, Charlie Brown. Then we have Charlie Brown's dog. Yes, that's right, Snoopy. He's a dog. And then we have Woodstock, who's a pretty bird. What type of bird? I'm not quite sure. But I love this mohawk. So I have my characters with me today because I'm reading a book that I got from Kohl's department store. In fact, I got all of my friends here, all of the characters from Kohl's. I'm not promoting Kohl's, and I know during this virus outbreak, Kohl's may be closed, but that is a great place to get books. So this episode's book is also from Kohl's. I got it right after Christmas, half price, $2.50. And if you've been watching my other episodes, you know this is a what type of book? Picture book. You're right. And we have the cover here. It's hardback. We have Charlie Brown. This is our friend Charlie Brown. And we have Lucy. Here we have Lucy. And it's so important to understand that these are characters of the story. Characters are people in the story. They don't have to be people. They can be animals like Snoopy and Woodstock, who you'll also see in this book. And all stories have three things. They have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And so we're going to begin our story. We're not going to get all the way to the end. But remember, in the middle, there has to be a problem that has to be solved. So I want to start this story, and we have our cover. And we know it's by Charles M. Schulz because he is the author. And I think he's also the illustrator. We're going to talk more about that later. So I'm opening this book. Now this book doesn't have a book jacket because it's hardcover. And it says Peanuts. Kick the football, Charlie Brown. And this is our title page. And we have a picture of Charlie Brown here. And other information as well about the book. So this is the opening page. And it's not football season right now. But this is the rest of the verso page. Remember, the verso page is back of the title page. It tells us the copyright date and other information. But what we want to focus on is Charlie Brown, who's right here, and Lucy, okay? And it says, every year when football season starts, Charlie Brown attempts to achieve one of his many goals in life, to kick a football and watch it soar through the air. And every year when Charlie Brown tries to do this, the same thing happens. It all starts with his friend Lucy. This is Lucy. Over here, Charlie Brown, says Lucy, I've got a brand new ball. I'll hold it and you can come running up and kick it. A brand new ball? Charlie Brown shouts. Wow, this is a real treat. So remember with the picture book, we have the pictures that help tell the story. So this is Charlie Brown, this is Lucy, and she's got her new football. Now I have Charlie Brown and Lucy, but I don't have Lucy's football. So let's see what happens next. Charlie Brown gets a running start and approaches Lucy. But just as he goes to kick the ball, Lucy pulls it away. Charlie Brown goes flying into the air and lands with an ugh on his back. Why did you take the ball away? Charlie Brown asked Lucy angrily. It suddenly occurred to me that if I let you kick it, it wouldn't be new anymore, Lucy explains. And so we have the words, but we also have the pictures. Poor Charlie Brown. He really took a nasty fall. Let's see what happens next in this next page. The next time it's the same story. Charlie Brown, calls Lucy in a sing-song voice. Come on, I'll hold the football, and you come running up and kick it, Lucy says. I have a surprise for you this year. A surprise, thinks Charlie Brown. That must mean she isn't going to pull the football away. She's going to be surprised when she sees how far I kick that ball. So we have Lucy, and look at her face. She's all happy. And look at Charlie Brown's face. He's not so sure because he's been here with Lucy before. So he's really wondering if this is a good idea. So I'm going to stop reading for right now because you can learn more if you read more about Charlie Brown. And if you watch TV, you'll see the TV show You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, Charlie Brown's Thanksgiving, Charlie Brown at Christmas, and then there's one where Lucy's younger brother, Linus, is waiting for the Great Pumpkin in the Great Pumpkin Patch. So there's about 4 times a year when these cartoons come on. Now, the creator of the Peanuts gang and all these characters was a man named Charles Schulz. I read that when Charles Schulz was in school, he wanted to be a cartoonist. And his art teacher laughed at him and he said his art was terrible and no one would buy it. And it's a good thing Mr. Schulz did not listen to that art teacher because we wouldn't have Lucy or Charlie Brown. We wouldn't have Snoopy, and this is, he's being really nice right now. Snoopy can be very cool. And we wouldn't have Woodstock. So boys and girls, if you really have a dream in your heart, you have to follow it. Now, did he start out writing books and having TV programs? No, he didn't. Mr. Schulz started out with comic strips. In one of my earlier episodes, I talked about comic strips. So this is one by Charles Schulz, and sure enough, we have Lucy, and we have Linus, her younger brother, and we have Woodstock. But Charlie Brown isn't in this particular comic strip. Do you remember where I told you we get comic strips from? If you said the newspaper, you're absolutely right. And remember I talked about the games that you can play and how you can cut out these comic strip boxes and take them out of order and put them in order again, or creating your own dialogue for them. That is something that you can do. So one last thing I wanted to show everyone is that in the Baltimore area, we have a magazine called Baltimore Style. And I get it in the mail, but it's free online as well. And you're saying, well, why are you showing me this? Because a magazine, and that's what this is another thing in your home that you may be able to read with your parents since schools and libraries are closed right now. Now, the one thing I thought was very interesting is on this page. Do you see that? Now, what's so impressive about this is that Johns Hopkins University was going to have this big event on March 30th. And it's all about seeing how people make a recipe based on their favorite book. So I think this recipe was about the 3 little pigs, don't you? Isn't that fun? I don't know if Johns Hopkins is still going to be having their event because of our current health crises. But isn't this a great activity you and your parents can have? What is your favorite story? And what recipes can you make? When we talk about recipes, that incorporates math. To follow a recipe is what we call in education functional reading. That means you have steps that tell you what to do. That's very different than reading from this type of book. Do you have a cookbook in your house, boys and girls? If you do, that's where you find recipes. If you don't, your parents can look up recipes on the internet and you can follow the steps. So think about your favorite book, favorite characters, or favorite comic strip and work with your parents on making a meal for the family based on that book or character. That's a great way to spend some extra time together and learning math, because math, you have to know your measurements of what's a gallon, a half a gallon. All that's math, and understanding temperature. So that is a great way to spend some time together during your time away from school. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Until next time, keep reading and stay safe. Thank you so very much.